afternoon. My name is Suzan McDowell. I'm the president and CEO of Circle of One Marketing. And welcome to the very first episode of In the Circle with Suzan today. I would like to thank our very fabulous guest, the beautiful Janey Tate, for making us 30 minutes late for our first show because she decided to listen to Waze. Waze, stop the madness. So the next time we're going to come together. The next time that my guest comes with me, I'm going to go pick her up because that's on me. So anyway, thank you for joining us. And I am so happy 2024 is going to be a wonderful year for all of us for a number of reasons. I am personally looking forward to this year. I already feel it in my bones how transformative and awesome this year is going to be for me and everything that I look on. Every single thing I can think about is going to happen for me this year and for all of us. So we've gotten off to a quick start. So here we are. It's January 24th, 2024. And Circle of One Marketing is so excited to be looking forward to our first quarter projects. So starting out with next week, we're doing the Federal Bar Association reception on the roof of the new wharf building, whatever that is. After that, we're doing the Afro-Carib Festival, which is in the city of Miramar on Saturday, February 17th, with Fireboy DML, who's famous for his song with Ed Sheeran. You know that song that goes, Peru, 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 Peru. So that's Fireboy DML. He's coming with Kabaka. Nadine Sutherland, who sings Action, not a bag of mouth. He's coming, and we're about to announce a special guest that's coming in. We have Young Wyland for Good Energy. So that's on the 17th of February. Tickets on sale. After that, we have the South Beach Food and Wine Festival. Circle of One is so proud to be producing the cookout for Chef J.J. Johnson, who is the host of, I think it's Cooking with Chef J.J., author of Art of Rice. And he, along with 10 of the most fabulous Black chefs here in South Florida and morning show host Angela Yee, are going to be presenting the cookout, which will be at the Eden Rock at 4 p.m. on February 24th. And that's what we have going on for January and February. So now I'm very excited to introduce my guest, beautiful and the talented, Janey Tate. Coming to the stage. Hi,
Hey.
Janey.
Look, I'm sorry Waze betrayed me. I should have listened to you when you said stay on 95 instead of going 826. Everybody knows, I know, in Miami, y'all know I played listening to Waze. So, but I'm so happy to be here.
No problem. I have been in those situations where you're like, why am I in the middle of this mess? I had such good intentions look at you. You look beautiful. Your face is all beat. You're ready to go. You're like, yeah, I'm going to give myself an hour. I'm all good. Yes.
You saw when I texted you.
I'm with you, boo. And then the devil just is like, you know what? I think I'm just going to try to mess these chicks up. However, what they didn't realize is that none of that's happening today. It's 12:30, and here we are.
Yes.
Together.
Look,
2024.
everything happens for a reason. Maybe it's just going to be a bomb show. So either way, we need to do it.
It's going to be a bomb show. Because you know why? Because it's me and it's you. So
definitely.
Welcome to In the Circle with Suzan.
Thank you. I love this. First of all, it's giving me Sherry teas. It's giving me, Jennifer Hudson teas. I love it. Like, I love everything about this. Trust me. I was looking forward to this. You saw I was promoting earlier this morning. Like, I'm all about it.
Thank you. So I am so glad you're here. And so, this is my show. I get to talk about whatever I feel like talking about. And today, I want to talk about you. So first question is always, start from the beginning.
So in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. No, I'm just
And Janey.
No, I'm a Miami Gardens native, Carroll City. Depending on what day it is or how you test me, but for the most part, I'm from Miami Gardens, born and raised. I love my city. I love my hometown. I went to Carroll City High School. I graduated from Miami Northwestern High School. Ran track, was a track star. And when those dreams, didn't work out, I switched gears and I focused on journalism. And I really stumbled into journalism because when I first went to college, I was studying business finance and I couldn't pass college algebra. Like, it was just hard. And here's the thing, I don't know what's going on in Dade County schools, but for some reason, I went up to AP calculus in high school, but I struggled in college algebra.
Dude, no, that college
It was just
It's not a
something.
game.
It wasn't that I couldn't do it. Is that the professor moved so fast that I couldn't keep up.
Otherwise known as you can't do it.
Yeah.
That's the other word for that.
No.
I was the same thing. I got a D. I got a D in summer algebra. Summer.
No, by the time I figured it out, he was on to the next lesson, and that was the issue. So I went to my guidance counselor in college, and I was like, what am I
gonna
major
do?
in
Yeah.
that I don't have to take this class? And she was like, communications. I was like, sign me up.
Bet.
So ended up falling into it and fell in love with journalism, fell in love with telling stories. And, for the most part, I've always been a storyteller. I've always been somebody who wanted to know what was up. I would watch the news all the time as a kid, partially because we didn't have cable for some years. But I got into the news. Like, I was introduced to people like Jawan Strader and Summer Knowles. And, all those great people on TV. And
I remember Summer Knowles.
yes.
You know what I love about Summer Knowles and about you and about me is that we're like these chocolate women, but like stunningly beautiful. Love that so much for us.
I love to see
I love
chocolate
that
women
so
on TV.
much. I love that
Yes.
so much. And so I remember meeting Summer Knowles and I was like, taken aback by such I love fabulous black women. Anyway, go ahead, continue.
No. Summer is still my girl. She's in Orlando now, so shout out to Summer.
Shout out to Summer. Such a pretty girl.
And, I got my start in journalism there. And, throughout that time, I interned for anybody that I could think of. I did an internship with the Miami Herald, CBS 4 Miami, which is when I really got a chance to meet Summer and Jawan. I actually got that internship from competing in pageants. Our host at the time was the anchor at CBS 4, Shari Williams. And so I was telling her I want to get into the business, and she was like, here's my number. Let me know if you ever want to do an internship. I hit her up, and that was my way in. But I would never have gotten connected had I not, been competing in pageants. And so for me, I went into this world not really knowing what to expect and just falling in love with telling our stories, and also too, like, advocating for Black stories or underrepresented stories as well. And that's kind of what led me to my journey of entrepreneurship, where I am now as the publisher of High Low News.
Got it. So we're going to go back again.
Okay.
Tell me about your family.
Okay, well,
start from the beginning.
In the beginning. So my mom, amazing. She's watching right now.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mommy.
Velveeta. You gotta love somebody named after some cheese. A woman named after cheese is a woman after my heart.
Yes, definitely. She's amazing. Single mother, raised us 4 kids in Miami Gardens.
No
yes,
way.
She had us young when she was in college, and for me, she always instilled in me to have a plan, and education was always forefront for us. And so, and also too, her and my grandmother and my aunts, they were always civically minded too. Like, they would every election, they're super voters. So if anybody knows me, I'm all about, especially local politics. I would see my mom and my grandma walk to the polls if they couldn't get a ride because they don't drive, and they were like, it was that serious.
So deep.
And so for me, even now, I was like, my grandma, like, something in her was like, this is so important, I need to do it. And my mom is a union steward, and so they're really civically minded, and I feel like I picked that up and I bring that into my work. And so, like I said, I'm the second oldest of 4 children, and grew up with a lot of strong Black women. My grandma, we actually lived next door to her.
So you live right now?
Well, growing up, we lived next door to my grandmother. She passed away, Janey Tate. Gotta, give her a shout out. But my village of women, my Aunt Lori, my Aunt Wanda, my Aunt Jackie, they all, like, fed into us. And so for me, I always saw like example of strong women being around. And, just full transparency, like I said, my mom grew up, I grew up with a single mother. My dad wasn't around, he's addicted to drugs. So I have that as a part of my story as well. But I feel like I was just thinking about my life, now, and I'm like, given the statistics of people who come from my background, I could have been so many different ways or took so many different turns.
You could have taken so many turns. But it all is when you look back on it and you go like, I could have easily gone left, but instead I went right. Or why did I go right when you should have gone left? You know what I mean? Like, I have so many of those crossroads in my own life and in my mind, and it's like you get to that stumble and you go like, what if, you just made a different choice? So yes, like when you're young and people tell you your life is the amount of, the sum of your choices, you don't really understand what the hell that means until choice has been made and it's a good or bad choice. Then you're like, oh, now I understand. So anyway, so I understand a lot of it is nurture, but a lot of it is nature, but it's also nurture, you know? Like, when I saw your mom the other day at Jerk Festival, like, I just remember, like the first impression was, she's such a elegant and calm. Because, you know, when I went up to her, I was like, and so listen, you know, because that's what I'm doing. And your mom's like, okay.
That's very much her.
She just
very much like, cool under pressure.
I calmed down because she was like, okay, no, all right, no problem.
And knowing her, she was just grateful that you even were, you know,
she was so nice,
giving her the tickets and, you know, through me, because I couldn't be there, and, you know, she was able to take advantage of it. But she probably was like, I'm not going to stress this lady out. She's doing me a favor.
I know, she was so nice. I was like, so anyway, so that's who you come from. So, I mean, you know, it's such a good feeling sometimes to know that, like, who you are every day in your life really does go back to who that person was, and that person was, and that person was, and that person was. You know what I mean? Male or, you know, man or woman, and, you know, whoever is in your DNA, like, to kind of look at those patterns that you've now repeated, and it's because of that person, like, 2 generations ago.
Definitely.
Literally in your DNA. So it's fascinating, you know? So...
No, definitely. You know, I didn't grow up with my dad's side of the family, but I've gotten closer with them, especially through my aunt, Deanie, over the years. And she told me, and my mom would tell me this too, that my granddad was an entrepreneur. So to me, I'm like, wow, like, even though I never met him, never knew him, he passed away before I was born. But the fact that that was something that he did and, you know, was in my DNA as well. Like, sometimes, like you said, you may not even have a chance to meet your ancestors or people in your lineage, but it's still in you. Like, my mom said he owned a store in Liberty City, and they grew up, you know, my dad and his sister, they grew up, you know, pretty much middle class in Liberty City area. And, you know, he worked for the airline. I think it was called Pan Am. And I think my grandmother at the time, she worked in the hospital. So I didn't really get a chance to know them, but as I started learning over the years who they were, and a lot of things, I saw similarities in myself, which is kind of amazing to me that you said. It's like, sometimes you don't even have to be raised with that person to still pick up, like, what's in your DNA. Those
DNAs. So, you know, Terry Williams, my very dear client, Terry Williams from Warren United Bank. I love you, Terry Williams. She has, like, this great example of this. So her story is, she was born in Indiantown, Florida, you know, North Florida. And she used to walk around behind her great-grandmother called Ma Honey. And Ma Honey was an entrepreneur. Ma Honey had a penny candy store. She had a juke joint. She had a barbecue pit. She owned apartments. And so Terry would walk behind her, actually, like, sold candy at her penny candy store.
Wow.
And so, like, years later, she goes to Harvard. She goes to Brown. She's American Express's doll, you know, that whole thing. And then somewhere in the middle of that, she realizes that the reason she is the president of the largest Black-owned bank and can do all this entrepreneurial stuff is because of all the time she spent walking behind Ma Honey, who was just her great-grandmother. You know what I mean? And so,
that's an amazing story.
Like, I remember when she told me that story, I was like, what? Because then you go, like, it's patterned, you know? So, yes.
Definitely. It's in your DNA.
It's in your DNA. It's in your DNA. So, okay. All right. So we're going to continue on now to your love life.
Oh, she's very... Is this Wendy Williams, girl?
Love life. Okay, so, all right, we're not going to get crazy.
I love it.
We're not going to get crazy.
I'm very open about my relationships. If anybody follows me on social, so this is no big deal.
I'm just talking about your fiance. I'm sorry, let me see. I'm sorry, is that a ring? Thank you. I was tired of trying to give him stink eye.
First of all, when we got engaged, and I remember I told you, I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I would have remembered right away. Because the last time you saw me, you were like, when are you going to marry her?
It's like, hello?
And that was crazy because that was earlier, like in March, and he was already planning the engagement.
Yes, he told me. I'm sorry, he told me.
He told me.
I'm sorry. Did I tell you? If I forgot to tell you, tell me.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Actually, no, I don't remember.
You're so crazy.
I know. Who knows if it's true or not true? I might have made it up. I might have not. You're going to have to ask him.
Wow.
But yes, no, I know. I mean, you know, I knew I was closing in on him along with some other people. I mean, I was just like, I'm trying to help you get to the happiness already.
I wasn't even thinking about it, honestly.
Yeah, whatever.
I was just thinking about, you know, the home that we're building and
North Carolina.
Yeah. So I call bi-coastal.
Hold on 1 second. I have something to say. I'm coming for you, North Carolina. I'm coming for you, North Carolina. I know you see me.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
And be ready, because Miami girls, we take
Be
over.
ready, be ready, be ready. Whatever camera I'm looking at, be ready.
No, he's in the business. He's a 3-time Emmy-winning producer. Tontis is amazing. Like, he has changed my life. The energy, the love that he's brought to my life, and just the support of me doing High Low News and Tate Media Enterprises. Without his support, I would not be where I am today. Like, totally, because I just wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
To be able to run a company without his financial support, just real talk. Like, he allowed me, especially like throughout 2020 and 2019, he allowed me to be a starving artist, so to speak, without starving.
Wow.
And for him,
He took care of you.
yeah, he definitely took care of me.
That's what his job is. And thank you for being so good at your job.
I appreciate it. I really, really appreciate it. But
good.
for him, he's like, I want you to go for it, and I don't want you to have the stress of, having to carry all of the bills. And so I was able to, still keep my apartment. He helps me with that as well. So I still have my place here in Miami, and my car and everything is here in Miami. So that's why I say I'm a bi-coastal. And I've been traveling back and forth. Anybody in a long distance relationship, you're always traveling back and forth. I have been doing that since before the pandemic.
Oh, wow. How long have you guys been together?
2019, I'm not that good at mental math, so what is that, like 5 or 6 years?
5 years.
5 years, 5 years. But we've known each other since 2016. We actually met at the National Association for Black Journalists, NABJ. They're our national convention in DC.
Did he roll up on you like, hey girl, what's up? Or did you get did you have like a meet cute, like, oh my God, my books fell. Oh, here are your books. Like, was it
I
like
that word, meet cute. They be saying that.
Was it a meet cute?
It was kind of a meet cute. I actually met him. I was with some other NABJ South Florida members, Suzette and Erica. We were at I think a BET party or something like that, and we saw him and we met him there. He was like being a total crazy, like, egomaniac. Like, he was trying to get into this party. They wouldn't let him in. And he's like, I'm a producer at ESPN. You need to let me in. We're going to have our party. And so I was like, who is this? And so he came over and he met us, and like, we introduced him, but I guess he was so angry he didn't he didn't really, he didn't remember.
See the beauty yet.
Yeah, no. So then the next night he comes up to me and he offers to buy me a drink.
Okay.
Like, so he's like, he says he just saw a beautiful woman at the bar buying her own drink. He's like that's a rule of his. He's like, even if I don't want to talk to her or not, like, that's just, you don't do that. So him not remembering that we met the day before, I was like, yo, we met yesterday. Did you see my friend Suzette? I was trying to find her. And he was like, that was his entryway in order to talk to me, because he wanted to talk to me, but he wasn't sure. So he was like using the drink as his way to talk to me. And we've been kicking it ever since. Like flying back and forth to see each other since 2016, and then 2019.
Wow.
I even tell all my single friends this. Be intentional. By 2019, I think I was like, 30 or 31. I was like, no more dating. I want to be intentional. I want a boyfriend. I want to get married. And so I remember I was in therapy and talking to my therapist about like men and just trying to figure out what I was doing wrong in my relationships. And now, I've been very public about being in an abusive relationship as well. So I was just like, that was a turning point for me to figure out what role am I playing, and what can I do to be better. And so me and my fiance, we kept doing this back and forth of seeing each other. And I was like, you're playing boyfriend while you're here. My feelings are getting, too confusing. I was like, either we're going to be intentional because I want a boyfriend and I want to eventually get married. Yeah. And I was like, either you want that or you're just going to get left in the dust because I'm being intentional about how I'm dating right now. And I said it up front. Like, I wasn't bashful about it. Even the other guys I was dating at the time, like in the beginning, very much upfront. What are your intentions? What do you want to do? Because you're not going to waste my time. I'm not going to do it. And I tell every woman, like, be honest, be upfront, and don't waste your time. And I think even men respect you for it. At least, here's the thing too, there's no surprises. So then at that point, you could decide
they do not how like you want surprises.
How you want to proceed. And so I talked to him about that. And he was like, like I've been had feelings for you. I just wasn't sure about long distance, or if you would want to do it. And he was like, let's do it. Let's try it. And I think that was the end of 2018 when we decided, like, okay, let's be intentional about this.
And then you ended up in a pandemic.
I know.
Where you were like, yay, good idea.
Honestly, and it's crazy. Friends of ours said that it broke up their relationship. It actually made us stronger.
I would imagine it would make you stronger, actually.
Yeah.
That would be what I thought.
Well, I would if you like the person.
I mean, if you like...
Clearly people were living with each other.
That didn't like the person,
news about a lot of people broke up or got divorces during the pandemic?
Yeah.
But I was like, you just
A lot of kids got abused.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of kids, child abuse went up. It's like, it's so funny because, like Flora, I love Flora, who I adore. Flora has so many people in her life, like on a daily, everyday basis because she has a big family. And I think about, like, I don't have a bunch of people that are in my face every single day, all day, you know what I mean? And so I think there's definitely different situations that people get in and can deal with it, you can't deal with it.
That's true. We all figured out how to manage stress during the pandemic.
Yeah. I built a whole kitchen.
And you probably did it brick by brick because you had the time.
I literally was so happy because I had something to do. So, anyway, all right, so what's the next thing? So continue to tell me about your fiance. So you guys are building a house.
Yeah, we're building a house, and I don't want to say on public, you know where it is, but we're building a house, and we're in that process. It'll be finished soon, and it's been really great, and he surprised me with our engagement this past August, and it was amazing. He did it at the Brooklyn Botanical Garden. He had a singer come, and he recreated the scene from the Martin show when Martin proposed to Gina in the park.
No way!
And so Martin is my favorite show. I'm a stan. I know everything about Martin, and so I was just like, oh my gosh, like for him, the attention to detail, and he surprised me. My friends were there. Like I looked up, he very much did his big one with that. He did a big one with that.
So he also ended with a meet cute. Kind of, he sealed that, he's like dating thing. He was like with a meet cute. So now we're on to a different chapter. All right.
Yeah.
Personally, and I totally want to get married one day. But I do think that once you factor in human beings in, that engagement is actually the perfect state. Because engagement is, you are mine and I am yours, but...
Not the but. Here's the thing. I'm not afraid of a long engagement either. Like, a lot of people are like, when is the big day? And I'm like, we're going to take our time with it.
I think engagement is a good state because you're not going anywhere. He's not going. Anyway, whatever. Girl, just let me know when the wedding is. But in the meantime, have a great time and be happy. so yes, I really, I am, this year, I have decided that I agree. So, whatever it is that I want and anybody else that I know that wants something, when two or more agree, it will be done. So,
that part.
Yes, it is. So, it's full on in the Bible that it says, where two or more agree, I am there, and it will be done. So, I am excited this year for expanded partnerships. Excited this year for new ventures. And, and so I agree.
Yeah, let's get it.
Let's get it. I'm getting it. I'm already getting it. Okay, so what do you want your legacy to be? I mean, you're super young, whatever. You're super young.
30-something. I'm at that point now, and where I'm like, I'm 30-something.
Yeah,
no, I'm 36. I've never been. Age is a blessing. I'm just joking, but for me, my legacy is all about, telling our stories, having safe spaces for us, having. Creating something that allows us to share our stories in a true, respectful, equitable way. And so with Tate Media Enterprises and High Low News, I want us to expand to different markets. There are so many places, especially in Florida and different places where, Black people and minorities reside, where they're news deserts and they're not getting information that they need. And so for me, I'm so passionate about this work. I'm so mission driven about this work that I want my legacy to be that when I pass away, that people are like, she really cared and she did something about it, and she told our stories the way we wanted them told. She saw us authentically, and for me, that I want that to be a part of my legacy.
So what? How are you going to treat that right now? Like, if we're in 2024. As fantastic as 2024 is going to be and already is, it's also going to be a stressful year. So how are you going to use your platform to get us past November?
Girl, look, High-Low News for us to grow and expand and also to become sustainable as a local newsroom. For us, I want us to be able to go into the event space. So I'm really excited about some of the things that we have coming up, and we were talking about it offline. One of the things is the Black Achievers Awards, where we highlight Black millennials and change makers. And this year we're looking to do it during Juneteenth.
Awesome.
My partners are Alexis Brown, curator of Social Exchange.
No, let me tell you something about that,
Ernisha
Alexis.
Randolph, and CEO of Sweet
Tell you
Butter.
something about that, Ernisha. Listen, you know what? First of all, I bless you because first you got Alexis. Alexis Brown is a bad MF.
Yes.
I text her out of the blue one day. I know she was like, what? I was like, listen, you're bad. Da, da, da. You're doing an awesome job. I'm sure she's like, wait, what? And Ernisha Randolph, that chick, listen, that is one of the best people I have worked with in South Florida is Ernisha Randolph. We've done so much work with her.
Yes.
We've done so much. Anyway.
No, we're all combining our superpowers.
Good.
It's like, and we're like, let's create this event that's, authentically Black and millennial. And and also too, we have other things in the work that we want to do something for Black History Month. We've been talking about to see how we could collab with, and I was texting you the other day, Chris Norwood.
Yes, of course.
So we want to do something with him during Black History Month with his exhibit, the Renaissance exhibit.
We would love that.
So for us, it's just more than that. But also, too, as far as politics, we're in the process, too, of planning a millennial summit on policy and politics.
Oh, good.
And we want to do it right before the primary election to give millennials, especially Black millennials, a space to be able to ask questions to policymakers, politicians, understanding the process, understanding why we should be civically engaged. And so for me, I'm like, I have to come from behind the screen, and we have to activate in person to get my demographic engaged and what's going on in the city around us and the county around us.
Yeah.
And so those are some of the ways that I want to, but also to give us information for election or politics, but also to what we've been doing from the beginning since I started High-Low News in 2015 is interviewing elected officials or candidates so people can know their story, why they should vote for them.
Absolutely.
We've done endorsements over the last, I think, we started with the presidential election and we did it in the primary as well 2 years ago, but endorsing candidates, creating a cheat sheet for people to vote. We've always reposted the Black Collective. They do a really good voter guide. So this year I want to collab more with more people in the political and election space. So we're getting that information out there, expanding our team so we could do more coverage, and of course just more interviews and podcasts so people just know who's out there, what the issues are, and breaking it down in a tone of voice in a way that we all digest it, because I think that's part of the disconnect with people being civically engaged is things, you've read a city council agenda, it's all legalese, nobody's really breaking the stuff down.
No idea what they're talking about.
And as I grow and expand High-Low News, I want us to be that person where people are like, if this is on the ballot, I know High-Low News is going to break this down for us so we understand what's going on.
And that if it's on your website, then it's the truth.
Yes.
Yeah, because you're hyper local. Yeah, so like I figured out that high-low means hyper local.
Yes, it's short for hyper-local.
I like hyper local. So then, but also too, hopefully that will go up the ballot because we need as much help with enthusiasm in the presidential election. Yeah. And that's like I've been reading people's stuff.
But politics are local. Of course, the presidential election.
No, all politics are local.
But
absolutely.
in the sense of, and not to, promote voter apathy, but I would be more, I think it's more pressing for us to push people to vote for their city commission or county commission and judges. I think it's more important for us to put a highlight and focus on that because those things directly affect you like the next day. Like when you're driving down the street and there's a pothole, when you are, 1020 life or red light tickets or things like that, you got people, you get arrested or just your city services, if your garbage isn't getting picked up, all of that is affected by the people that you elect in office. And if you're not paying attention to what they're doing, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. And I think we all have to figure that out. Like, if I know people like it's rigged or this, it's no. We have to participate.
We have to participate
because you're going to be affected either way. So
you're be
might as well be in control.
Yeah, I agree. So anyway, so Miss Janey,
are we at the end? This went by so quick.
We're at the end of our talk, but I do want us to agree that in 2024, what we're going to achieve, we're going to elevate, and I'm going to give a word, you give a word. I give the word elevate, you're a word.
I give the word prosper.
Perfect. Elevate,
Yes.
prosper with love.
Yes, I love it. And we would love to be a media partner of In the Circle with Suzan.
Oh my God, no.
I would love that because I was checking out your interviews, just getting prepared for today. And when you called me, we just would randomly talk about something else. And I was like, yo, like, we need to make sure that what you're doing in the interviews that you're doing, that our audience knows about it too. Like,
that would be great.
So y'all, more Suzanne and more high-low news, more
Janey.
partnership, collaboration over competition.
Yes,
That's what
exactly.
It is.
Oh, and I got to introduce you to Michael Miller as well, so then you can collaborate with Community News. Okay, great. All right. So like I said, when two or more agree, 2024, here we come. Thank you, Janey Tate.
Thank you so much. And always, I want to give you your flowers. I know we got a little bit of time. I don't know if we can keep it up, but you've always supported High-Low News and me from the beginning. We met way before I even got started as a journalist, when I was still a pageant girl. And just, like you said, being a woman in this space and you knowing what that is, and even my journey through iHeart and media sales, you have never wavered, never not supported, always giving me tips, advice, access, like as an independent reporter. And I just want to let you know how important and how dear and how much I value your support, especially as another beautiful chocolate woman, and giving me guidance and advice throughout my journey and my career. So thank you. I want to give you your flowers publicly.
Thank you very much. Making me blush. All right, thank you. Goodbye. Cut.